All right. Last question because Bailey is just crawling all over me. This one is ideas on how to network for engineering jobs besides just slowly meeting people over time. They go on to say the most obvious way to network is to slowly build a social circle over time, and maybe one day you'll be lucky and hear of something through the grapevine. This isn't too applicable when you're looking for a job in a shorter time scale. Are there any strategies or tips for how to use networking to improve the job search in the short term so it can be employed concurrently with sending out applications? I'm looking for ideas like maybe specific clubs or activities to become a part of or any other ideas. Yeah, so I would say, for example, I was involved as a mechanical engineering student in the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. And so there are professional organizations out there like ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, IEEE, the International or Institution for Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IKE, that's for chemical engineers, BS. There's other ones that I'm forgetting of. I know people at my work are members of PIP, that's Process Industry Practices, and there's another one called JIP, which I don't know off the top of my head, which I should know. But there's a lot of professional organizations where you can be finding yourself interacting with people that are in different fields that you might be interested in working in and in your discipline of engineering that you're interested in. I definitely recommend getting involved with those types of organizations. And then also, I think there's other types of professional organizations that might have engineers drawn to them that aren't quite as obvious. For example, a lot of engineers want to work on their communication skills. So there might be a Toastmasters club in your area that features a lot of engineers. It might even be named after engineering, something to look into. Just stuff like that. Definitely ways to network. And then for me personally, it's not necessarily engineering or engineering career related organizations, but other just social organizations that you're personally passionate about. For example, I'm in a group page for San Antonio called Bourbon in San Antonio. I'm really into bourbon. And turns out there's multiple other engineers that are on this page. And whenever you connect with somebody through your personal passions, they get to see who you are as a person, what your values are. I guess bourbon isn't the best example for me to show somebody my values, but it shows I have taste. And but also I meet people that are engineers on the golf course. I mean, just go out and about I know you said it's slowly building a social circle, but on top of those really dedicated, concerted activities, there's definitely ways for you to just take that networking mindset to you being social. But with that being said, I just recommend not to be too overbearing in those social settings, but definitely always be willing to talk about what you're interested in, talk about yourself, talk about your career, and ask people about theirs and how you can be an asset to them, because you giving to them, they'll give back. So it's kind of like a give and take in networking. So those are the general ways that I approach networking. One other thing I did in college, I attended all of my university's networking events. So I go home for Christmas and I attend the Fort Worth alumni event, and then I come back in town and then I attend the San Antonio alumni networking event. If I happen to be in Houston and there's a networking event, I go to that. I am involved with my fraternity. I still volunteer with them, and it's more me being a network than the other way around. But don't forget your university. They have resources and ways to get you connected, and you might have an old professor or an old classmate that you reach out to that you're interested in what they're doing, and you can ask them about that. I know that I personally have tried to make myself somebody that my classmates can reach out to, and even though I'll be honest, I'm not doing a very good job of networking people into jobs. I feel like I can honestly say that at least one person I've positively impacted their ability to get a job, but it was all them in the grand scheme of things. But hopefully there's other people in your life like me that, not to brag, but that would be interested in helping out their peers and trying their best to at least put your name forward and get you a little bit further along in the resume screening process. So yeah, look at your university, look at your classmates, look at your the professional organizations, and look at taking that networking mindset to your passions and the things that you enjoy doing on your own. And I think that you'll find that it's not that difficult to grow a network. And then it just kind of turns into a snowball that just keeps growing and growing and growing. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that you find a great job that matches with you and your goals and your culture.
I'm not complaining, my thoughts get complicated, I cannot explain in layman's. Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.